So we've picked, in essence, the place that we think is the best place to hit our ball, and that place is a very small place. There may be a couple of challenges there. So where we want to hit it with the club that we're going to hit it with, actually you may have to put a shape on it, or you may have to keep it low or get it to go high. So that'll change maybe the fact that you've either got to change the club that you're doing this with, or you've got to change the exact place that you're going to go to. But for the most part, let's assume that we're playing this from the middle of the fairway. We've got none of those challenges. There's no wind blowing for the moment. So we're basically going to hit a standard type of shot. It's going to change where there are different challenges, but let's deal with that on a separate occasion. Let's keep it reasonably simple for the moment. So we've picked this place that we're going to go, and we know that we can be fearless about approaching it. We know that if we miss the pinprick that we've aimed at, then the ball's still going to be in a place where we can take advantage of the fact that we're in the fairway, and that we've still got a better chance of getting where we want to go to than if we was in the rough. So the first thing to do now is to just get very deep where we want to go into the brain using that eye technique. Remember, we're either going to go in, or we're going to go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and take advantage of that vortex idea. And then we're done. That's in the brain. There may be, and I think I'll deal with this in the actual go part, but it might be an idea to encompass all of that we're going to do now in an intermediary target, which is 2 or 3 feet away, which comes from the target oriented golf idea. So we've programmed that. Now we want to program to the brain how we want to get there. What's it going to look like? And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be real, so you can use all sorts of imagery and imagination to create the idea that the ball's going to go along there. So I remember way back when I first played Woburn, and Woburn really was the first tree-lined golf course that I played. I was playing at Municipal Golf Club at Cheshunt, and literally, you know, apart from the holes that were on the outside of the course, you'd have 2 or 3 fairways that you could spray the ball on, and quite often I would use those. I got to Woburn and these tight tree-lined fairways, and all of a sudden it inspired imagery in me. I'd never read anything about imagery. I didn't know anything about it, but I had to start imaging that ball going between those trees, and the trees made it very, very easy. I think at the time I was probably somewhere between 13, 18 handicap, and I played there and shot 74, the first round of golf. I think that I was in the 70s. And for me, even to this day, I know that it was that I introduced imagery as part of what I was doing. And for those people that have done the 26-page questionnaire now, in the back there is a preferred senses questionnaire where you can discover for yourself which is your preferred sense when you do this exercise. However, I'm also a trainer of neuro-linguistic programming, and I have discovered that when we put all of these preferred representational systems together and build this really powerful image of what we want to do, then it works even better. So basically we're going to see how that ball flies, the speed of which it goes off at, how it spins, how it turns in the air, the height it goes to, the height it sets off, how it comes down, how it stops on the green. You might well put some hoops in the way of the ball, so the ball goes through hoops to get there. You may well have angels picking it out and dropping it off. You can do all sorts of things. What we're trying to do is tell the brain, we already know where we want to go, now how is it going to go there? We're now going to move into the auditory field. Now for me, and this is slightly digital as well, what I started adding, and again this is absolutely one of the most powerful additions to pre-shot routine that I ever included, I actually described how the ball was going to fly. I said the speed that it was going to go off. I said the trajectory in degrees. I said how high in feet it was going to go, and how it was going to, and what it was going to do when it landed. And then I get into kinesthetic. So the kinesthetic part is, how is that going to feel when I do that? And you might want to start that whole thing off with your eyes shut, so that you can focus more in on the feelings that you might normally do. And then when you've got those three things done in their separate compartments, then do the whole thing together, see it, hear it, feel it, and see the finish, feel the finish, and describe how the finish. So you complete what I call a rehearsal swing. So for me, the practice swing is a practice swing for most people, all they do really is to loosen up the muscles. But this is the start of the rehearsal swing, and I'll talk a little bit more about the rest of the rehearsal swing tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you for listening and stay safe.